Hi book lovers, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk about some used books that I got recently. I'm pretty excited to do this video. I've been wanting to do a book haul since I even thought about making a YouTube, and I just recently went to a used bookstore called BookOff and I thought it was perfect timing, so let's do it. Also, on a side note, my friend Jessica from Peace Love Books is hosting a used books readathon. I think it's called Used Bookathon. Be sure to check it out. I'll link her video in the description below. I might pop in and do like a couple of the challenges, but me and readathons don't quite get along. I'm a huge mood reader and I like to read my arcs in order of schedule. It doesn't always work out, but you know, I like to tell myself that I do follow that, which is why I'm still thinking about joining the Reading Rush challenge. Jessica was texting me about it last night, pretty much yelling at me for not knowing about it. I'm sorry, but I signed up. Whether or not I actually join in, we'll see. That being said, me, Jess, and our friend Sarah are doing a MC series read-along for the Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. It's 3 books. We're doing 1 book a month. At the end of the month, we're doing like a live video. I'll also link the video that we did last month for the first book called Lessons in Corruption down below. If you like MC romances, motorcycle club romances, please join us. It's only 1 book a month, not a big commitment. So yeah, let's get on with the book haul. So a couple weeks ago I went to BookOff. I try to go there maybe once every month or so just to see if anything new has been added, and I came out with 5 books. I tend to get books that I've either already read and loved or get books by authors that I have read and loved. And I was able to find a couple of good ones. I always get Lisa Kleypas, which is why I got 4 Lisa Kleypas books. This one was only $1, so obviously I had to grab it. And then these paperbacks, I think one of them was $1, the others were $2. Prior to me getting them, I only read this one, which is book 2 in the Hathaway series. It's called Seduce Me At Sunrise. I absolutely adore the Hathaway series. I binged on them while I was actually in Europe. I love them so much that I actually stayed in at night when I probably should have been out and about, but yeah, the series is so good. You fall in love with this family. Book 1, Mine Till Midnight, and book 5, Love in the Afternoon, are my absolute favorites. If you haven't read them, you should. It's a great family saga series. This one is kind of an unrequited love story on both sides, so it's not really unrequited, but each of them don't know that they're in love with the other. The hero doesn't believe that he's good enough for the heroine, and of course the heroine tries to show him differently. Also, this has a really pretty step back. I don't know if you can see it, but there it is. What I also really loved about this used book was that a lot of sections were dog-eared. Like, I personally never dog-eared just because it hurts my heart to do it. I couldn't help myself look at all the parts that the previous owner or whoever marked down, and they were all the super sweet moments as well as the hilarious, funny comic relief moments. So that was a nice touch to this, and I'm glad I got it, even though it's like a little bent at parts. So these other 2 I talked about a little bit in my intro to booktube video. I finished Stranger in My Arms, so good. A dead husband coming back to life, except is he really her husband? She doesn't really know. And then this one I haven't read yet. I didn't really know is a trope. But now that I've read one of them, I keep seeing them everywhere. In this one, the hero and heroine were wed without their consent, and they're trying to find each other so they can get a divorce, but turns out they don't really want a divorce. And sugar daddy is not quite like how it sounds. The heroine does not have a sugar daddy, much to my disappointment. Not really. But I ended up reading this for a read-along with some friends on Instagram. We read Sugar Daddy as well as the sequel, the second book in the Travis's series, which is Blue-Eyed Devil. I really enjoyed these ones. This was my first time reading Lisa Kleypas's contemporary books. I really enjoyed them. They're a little different than the typical contemporary romances that I'm used to. Like, there's a lot of backstory for the heroine. We read about her from when she's a young girl to her young adulthood. It's a bit of a love triangle. Like, you're not really sure halfway through who she's supposed to end up with. but I really enjoyed her hero. I thought he was perfect for her. I love the Travis family. I really enjoyed reading about them. Book 2 is about the hero who did not get chosen. So this was a great read. I'm glad I finally read Eloisa Kleypas' contemporaries, and I'll probably read some more of the series. I'm not too much in a hurry, although I do prefer her historicals. So this last book for my first trip this month to BookOff is the first book in one of my favorite urban fantasy series, First Grave on the Right by Darynda Jones. I was super happy I was able to find this book in hardcover. I have the first 8 in mass market paperback and then the last like 4 in hardcover. I'm slowly collecting them in hardcover, so this was a great find. This is the first book in the Charlie Davidson series, and it's about a Grim Reaper. Charlie has been able to see ghosts all her life, and she's pretty much like that crossover. Once a ghost wants to pass into the afterlife, they go through her. So she tries to help them out. It's pretty easy when she comes across a lot of ghosts as a private investigator slash murder investigator. I love the series. This is probably the funniest series that I've ever read. It's so over the top. Charlie loves naming things. Like Charlie names her boobs. One boob is Danger and the other is Will Robinson. There's a fantastic romance in this series. It's slow burn, of course. It goes throughout the whole series. We get to meet Reyes in this book, and he's like this mysterious otherworldly creature who appears in our dreams, but then turns out he's real. And he's this smoking hot man who can also see ghosts like her. It just finished earlier this year with 13 books, which I am so sad about, but apparently we're supposed to be getting a spin-off series, and I'm so excited for it. These next 3 are ones that I found earlier this week. The BookOff that I go to has a ton of historical romances, so I always go straight to that section. I mean, they're super cheap, only $1 or $2, and I ended up with these 3, 2 by Eloisa James, who is one of my favorite historical romance authors, as well as Julia Quinn, one of the Bridgerton books that I don't currently have. So these 2 Eloisa James books I have not read yet, but they sound amazing. This one, When the Duke Returns, is about a married couple. They were married as children. The hero wants an annulment, the heroine does not. This next one I was super excited to find. It's called The Taming of the Duke, and it's with a heroine who wants to take a lover. I don't come across that too often in my historical romances. The heroines are always pure, virginal, ladylike, chaste. But this one, the heroine wants a lover who can please her and then leave the next morning, which is perfect. This one also has a case of mistaken slash mysterious identity. The hero is the long-lost twin of her guardian, and she kisses one of them at a masquerade, but she's not exactly sure who it is that she kisses, and I'm excited to read it. This one also has a gorgeous step back. And this last book is by Julia Quinn. This is one of her Bridgertons books. I was happy I was able to find it, especially with the news that the Bridgertons are becoming a Netflix series. And this one is To Sir Phillip with Love, book 5 in the Bridgerton series. This is one that I skipped over while I was binging on the series. So I'm glad I found it, and it probably means that I should read it. The Bridgerton series is a really fun series. Like, it's not my absolute favorite. Like, the first book was okay. Book 3 was the one that I enjoyed the most. It's a Cinderella retelling, but it's a really fun series, like I said. The characters are very memorable, very funny. I really enjoy like the family aspect of it. The mother, Violet, is hilarious. She's always meddling in her children's affairs. And if you haven't read the series, I suggest you give it a try. Book 1 is The Duke and I gave it a 3 stars. Like, it's a good read, especially for someone who is new to the genre. So this one, To Sir Phillip with Love, the hero and heroine correspond through letters, and I guess they fall in love through that, but once they meet in person, the heroine doesn't really see Philip as her dream husband. I'll probably catch up with the series by the time the Netflix series airs. And this one also has a really pretty step back. This is the only one I have with a step back. I have about like 5 books in the series now, so I'm glad I found this one. So that was my book haul, my very first book haul. I'm excited to have done it. I'm excited to do more and to share with you all the book mail that I get. You can follow me on Instagram to see what I get on like a daily basis. I'll leave a link down below. And again, please do join in on Jessica's used bookathon if you want an excuse to read all the used books that you have. And let me know in the comments if you like buying used books and where you buy them. I'm so jealous of Jessica that she has half-price books everywhere in Ohio. We don't have that in Southern California. I think there's like one up in the Bay Area in California. That's a little too far, so I settled for BookOff. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!